The power of purpose. Crafting impactful messages that ignite social change in an age where information overload is the norm. Impactful messaging has become both an art and a science in driving social change. For activists and advocates seeking to create meaningful impact, crafting messages that resonate deeply with their target audiences isn't just beneficial, it's essential. This guide explores how purpose-driven communication can transform passive observers into active participants in movements for justice, equality, and environmental sustainability. By understanding psychological triggers, leveraging storytelling techniques, and aligning messages with cultural values, we unlock new pathways for collective action and systemic transformation. Understanding the psychology behind effective activist communication. At the heart of impactful messaging lies human psychology, the complex interplay of emotions, beliefs, and motivations that drive behavior. Understanding these elements allows communicators to craft messages that not only capture attention but also inspire lasting commitment to causes. One crucial aspect is the concept of cognitive dissonance, which occurs when individuals hold conflicting beliefs or attitudes. When presented with compelling evidence challenging their existing views, people often experience discomfort that motivates them to reevaluate their positions, an opportunity for activist messaging to make real-world differences. Cognitive dissonance, used strategically by presenting facts that challenge preconceived notions without alienating recipients' social proof, demonstrating widespread support through testimonials, data points, or visible participation increases credibility and reduces resistance. Emotional resonance plays equally vital role. Research from Stanford University shows that emotionally charged messages are remembered up to 8 times longer than neutral ones. This principle guides the use of vivid imagery, personal stories, and relatable language in creating memorable calls to action. Motivational theories such as self-determination theory further inform effective messaging strategies. Focusing on autonomy, competence, and relatedness helps ensure that messages empower rather than coerce, fostering genuine engagement over time. By combining these psychological principles with culturally relevant examples, communicators can create messages that move beyond mere awareness to actual behavioral change, transforming listeners into doers who actively contribute to societal progress. Building authentic connections through storytelling techniques. Storytelling remains one of the most powerful tools in activating communities around shared goals. Unlike abstract arguments or statistical reports, narratives provide emotional context that makes issues tangible and relatable at a personal level. A well-crafted story activates mirror neurons in the brain, allowing listeners to literally feel what others are experiencing. This neural mirroring creates empathy bridges that transcend demographic boundaries and foster deeper connections among diverse groups working toward common objectives. Successful activist campaigns often hinge on 3 key narrative structures: the hero's journey, the problem-solution arc, and the transformative experience model. Each structure provides different entry points for connecting with various segments within your target audience. For instance, using the hero's journey framework transforms individuals into protagonists within larger movement narratives. This empowers them to see themselves as agents of change rather than passive beneficiaries of external interventions. Data visualization combined with narrative frameworks enhances message retention significantly. A study published in Nature Communications found that integrating infographics with storytelling increased knowledge retention rates by nearly 65% compared to text-only presentations. Authenticity is paramount in storytelling efforts. Fabricated anecdotes may generate initial interest but ultimately erode trust when exposed as insincere. Maintaining transparency while still protecting individual privacy ensures long-term credibility within activist networks. Leveraging cultural contexts for deeper message resonance. Cultural relevance is a critical factor in ensuring messages connect meaningfully with intended audiences. What resonates strongly within one community might fall flat entirely within another due to differing values, histories, and communication styles. Research indicates that culturally tailored messages have twice the effectiveness rate of generic approaches across multiple social movement sectors. This underscores the importance of investing time in understanding local contexts before developing campaign materials. To achieve authentic cultural alignment, consider factors like historical memory, current social tensions, and emerging youth subcultures shaping modern discourse. These elements shape perception filters that determine whether a message will be received positively or dismissed outright. Language choices play particularly significant roles in cross-cultural communication. Slang terms, idiomatic expressions, and even tone variations carry implicit meanings that can either build rapport or create unintended barriers depending on usage. Visual symbols also convey potent cultural messages. From traditional motifs used in protest signs to contemporary digital avatars representing marginalized identities, visual elements serve as shorthand for complex ideological positions. When adapting messages across cultures, maintain core principles while adjusting expression methods accordingly. This preserves message integrity while respecting regional sensitivities, a delicate balance requiring careful consideration during development phases. Harnessing digital platforms for wider reach and engagement. Digital platforms offer unprecedented opportunities to amplify activist voices globally while maintaining localized nuance. However, success requires strategic platform selection based on audience demographics, media consumption patterns, and technological access levels. Each platform carries its own set of norms regarding content formats, interaction expectations, and user behaviors. Twitter favors brevity and immediacy, Instagram thrives on visual storytelling, and TikTok excels at viral challenges that spark mass participation. Cross-platform consistency is essential yet nuanced. While maintaining brand identity across channels, adapt messaging style appropriately for each medium. Short-form videos require punchier hooks, whereas blog posts allow space for elaboration. Social listening tools enable real-time adaptation of messaging strategies based on public sentiment analysis. Monitoring trends reveals emerging concerns worth addressing proactively rather than reactively responding after crises erupt. Interactive features like polls, Q&A sessions, and live streaming enhance two-way conversations that build stronger relationships with followers. These interactions create accountability loops reinforcing message authenticity. Despite digital advantages, never underestimate physical presence value. Hybrid events combining online reach with in-person gatherings maximize inclusivity while preserving grassroots energy characteristic of successful social movements. Designing visual language that speaks volumes without words. Visual elements complement verbal messaging by conveying complex ideas quickly and memorably. In fast-paced environments where attention spans are fleeting, visuals act as cognitive shortcuts that facilitate immediate comprehension. Color symbolism varies widely across cultures, making color choice especially sensitive in multicultural settings. Red signifies danger in some regions while symbolizing luck and prosperity elsewhere, a consideration that impacts everything from protest banners to campaign posters. Typefaces influence perceptions subtly yet powerfully. Bold sans serif fonts project authority suitable for policy advocacy, whereas cursive scripts evoke intimacy better suited for personal testimonies or handwritten missives. Iconography serves dual purposes, providing instant recognition while carrying symbolic weight tied to particular ideologies or experiences. Careful selection avoids misinterpretations that could undermine carefully crafted messages. Infographic design follows similar considerations. Data presentation must prioritize clarity without sacrificing aesthetic appeal. Striking visual harmony between form and function ensures information is both accessible and engaging. Consistency in visual branding reinforces message recall. Regular exposure to consistent color schemes, typography choices, and icon sets build subconscious associations linking visual cues directly to cause-related themes. Engaging multiple generations within movement communities. Intergenerational dialogue presents unique challenges and opportunities for activists aiming to unify diverse age cohorts under common goals. Different generations bring distinct perspectives shaped by varying historical experiences and evolving technologies. Youth-focused initiatives emphasize innovation, digital fluency, and peer-to-peer mobilization strategies. They thrive on interactive platforms and experiential learning models that leverage gamification and social media virality potential. Experienced elders contribute wisdom rooted in decades-long struggles against oppression. Their narratives lend historical depth that contextualizes present-day battles within broader socio-political landscapes. Bridging generational gaps requires intentional effort. Creating spaces for open dialogue fosters mutual respect while highlighting shared aspirations despite divergent approaches. Mentorship programs prove particularly effective in facilitating knowledge transfer across ages. Technology adoption differs dramatically between generations, necessitating inclusive strategy designs. While younger members embrace mobile-first solutions, older participants may prefer print-based resources or face-to-face meetings for optimal engagement. Ultimately, acknowledging generational diversity strengthens movement resilience. Diverse viewpoints enrich discussions, leading to more robust solutions that account for multifaceted realities impacting affected communities. Fostering collective action through shared narratives. Collective action emerges naturally when individuals identify with overarching narratives that position them as part of something greater than themselves. These shared stories create belonging that fuels sustained involvement in social change endeavors. Identity formation processes play central roles here. People derive self-worth from affiliations they perceive as aligned with their values. Effective messaging taps into this need by offering clear definitions of group membership criteria. Participatory storytelling techniques invite broader community contributions to narrative development. Crowdsourced content creation empowers individuals while generating organic material rich in authentic lived experiences. Community murals, oral history projects, and collaborative zines exemplify participatory storytelling forms that blend artistic expression with political commentary. These mediums democratize message production, enhancing overall legitimacy. Shared narratives evolve organically through ongoing exchanges rather than being dictated top-down. Facilitating discussion forums encourages continuous refinement of collective understandings that remain responsive to changing circumstances. Such dynamic storytelling maintains freshness, preventing stagnation while keeping core mission statements intact. It reflects reality accurately enough to retain authenticity without becoming too fragmented to sustain unified direction. Evaluating and refining your messaging strategy over time. Impactful messaging evolves continuously rather than remaining static. Regular evaluation mechanisms help identify areas needing improvement while celebrating successes that reinforce momentum within movement communities. Quantitative metrics provide objective benchmarks, tracking growth indicators like follower counts, website traffic analytics, or event attendance figures. Qualitative feedback offers richer insights into perceptual shifts occurring at deeper levels. Surveys and focus groups reveal nuances behind numerical trends. Listening sessions uncover unspoken frustrations or misconceptions that quantitative data alone cannot detect. Combining both types of assessment paints fuller pictures, guiding informed decisions. Adaptive frameworks allow flexibility in response to shifting conditions without losing sight of foundational principles. Agile methodologies borrowed from tech industries prove useful in managing iterative improvements efficiently. Pilot testing new messages before full-scale implementation minimizes risks associated with misinformation or ineffective framing. Controlled experiments yield empirical evidence supporting best practices. Documenting lessons learned systematically ensures institutional memory preservation. Case studies archive successful tactics while analyzing failures constructively rather than destructively. Conclusion: creating impactful messages for social change demands a deep understanding of human psychology, cultural dynamics, and digital landscapes. It involves weaving together scientific insights with creative expression to produce communications that truly move hearts and minds towards positive transformation. Remember, every message you send carries responsibility alongside its power. Approach your work with humility, openness, and relentless curiosity about what works best, not just for yourself but for those whose lives you aim to uplift through your words and actions.